What's up, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about variables, functions, and loops for our second lesson. So let's get into it. Let's start off by talking about variables. Think of a variable as a box where you can store things like numbers or words. There are three types of variables: numbers, strings, and booleans. I'm going to give you an example of all three. So let's say local number equals 5. Basically, a number variable is a variable that holds a number value. A string variable is any variable that holds a string or text. So local string equals hi right here. That's a string. And lastly, a boolean, which is a true or false statement. So local boolean equals true. By the way, when you're making a variable, we use the word local because it will keep our variable safe inside the code. Also, by the way, the word after local is the name of the variable. And it should always make sense. So for example, if you're coding a health variable, your variable's name should be health. Now let's talk about functions. You can think of functions as reusable actions. Basically, you'll code something once and you will be able to repeat that function over and over and over. Okay, so here's how to make a function. You say local function, and then the name of your function says print hello. Okay, and then you can do print hello. Okay, and then in these 3 lines of code we have defined the function. But to call the function, we simply say the name of the function. So print hello is our function. So when I run the game, you will see right here at the very top, this is our function. There's 2 ways you can use functions. Functions with inputs and functions with outputs. So I'm going to show you how to do functions with inputs. So to do a function with inputs, you put your input in the parentheses, in this case names. Basically, inputs will allow you to add more customizability to your functions. So basically, print hello, and then dot name dot, and basically these 2 dots are used to add strings together. And now to call the function, we just change this to the name. So I'm going to say, okay, so this is what the script should look like. You have your function, which prints hello with a space to space the name and hello, otherwise it will stick together, and then with an exclamation point. And then you are now defining name as everyone, and then you're calling the function, so it should say hello everyone. So let's run the script. And as you can see, it runs hello everyone. Now let's make a new function to show you functions with outputs. So let's say function add A and B, and then return A plus B, which by the way returns the value of something. By the way, if you have questions about these videos, join the Discord server using the link in either the description or the pinned comment, and we have a community that can help you with any sort of coding questions you have. It's a free 10-day Lua coding course. Okay, but anyways, back to the video. We can say local result equals add. Okay, now we want to put our input, so 2 and 3. Then print the result. So theoretically, this should print 5 because we made a function that returns the value of A and B, as you can see here, and we have put the inputs, which 2 is equal, or A is equal to 2 and B is equal to 3, so it should print 5. And as you can see, it prints 5. And it even says the line that it comes from, which is line 6. Now let's talk about loops. Loops are very important when coding, just like variables and functions. They can make coding super easy and efficient. So basically, loops repeat your code until you tell them to stop. So there's a lot of types of loops. I'm going to cover 3 types of loops. The first type of loop is a for loop, the second type of loop is a while loop, and the last type of loop is a repeat until loop. There are more loops, and if you want to learn about that, then you should join our Discord server. So let's talk about a for loop. So by the way, if you didn't know, a for loop repeats a set number of times. So for I equals 1 through 5, do, and then print loop number, and space this out, dot I. So basically what we have here is a for loop, and it will run 5 times because we have given it a range, I equals 1 through 5. And what it will do is print loop number and then the number it is on. So I'll give you an example of what will happen when you run it. And as you see, it quickly runs through 5 times and prints loop number 1, loop number 2, loop number 3, loop number 4, and loop number 5. Next loop is a while loop. And a while loop repeats something while something is true. So let me show you an example. Local health equals 3 while health is greater than 0 to print still alive health equals health minus 1, and yeah. So basically what is going on in this 6 lines of code is we have defined a variable to a numerical value, health equals 3, and what is going on is basically while the numerical value of health is bigger than 0, it will print still alive, and then every second it will minus 1 from health. So let's run it. And as you can see, it will print still alive. And as you can see, it will print still alive 3 times because it was true for 3 seconds. The last type of loop I will be talking about is a repeat until loop. A repeat until loop basically waits for something to happen and then it will stop running. So let me show you what I mean. Local coins equals 0, okay, and then repeat print collecting coin dot. Let's do that. Okay, and then coins equals coins plus 1. And now that we have everything we need under repeat, we will now put what we want the repeat until loop to look for. So I'm gonna say coins equals to 5. So basically this runs at least once and will stop when the number. So basically this loop will run at least once and it will stop when coins is equal to 5. And every second it will add 1 to the coin's value. So theoretically this collecting coins thing should print 5 times. Let's run it. And as you can see, it will print collecting coin 5 times. Okay, so a quick recap of what we've learned A variable is something that stores information. So, for example, local pizzas underscore slices equals 3. And a function is kind of like an action that does something, like local function greet print hello. And a loop is something that repeats code. So for example, for I equals 1 through 10, do let's say print hi. Okay, now finally, I'm gonna do something that has never been done in this series so far. I'm gonna give you guys a challenge. So first, I want you guys to create a variable called coins, and I want you to set the value to 0. And then I want you to make a function to collect a coin. So basically, it will be a function that would print that you have collected a coin. And then the third step is to make a loop that collects 5 coins. And then the third step is a loop that runs the function 5 times to collect 5 coins. And then the last step is to print something that says that you have collected all 5 coins. If you want the answer to the challenge, it will be posted on our Discord server, which again you can join either through the description or the link in the pinned comments. Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. And until next time, bye.